I moved out here to California. I went to the American Academy of Dramatic
What a
Arts.
turn. Why did you suddenly do that?
Because that's what I wanted to do. Like, I'm
Yeah, but why California?
that's where the American Academy of Dramatic Arts was. It was either here or
But you
New
knew
York.
that was the school you wanted to go to?
Well, it was an acting school. I didn't really, I didn't go to college.
Right.
And so it's like, well, here's this acting school. I didn't know that you could just move out here to L.A. and take classes. You know what I mean? I didn't know that was the thing.
No, I get that, but I just there's got to be acting schools in Chicago, right?
Well, there was Columbia College, but there was something about that. It was the American Academy of Dramatic Arts.
You just had heard of the lore or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's great.
And so I applied, and I did my audition, and from what I understand, if anybody that had a checkbook got in.
Oh, really?
I think so.
Did you audition out here or in Chicago?
They came to Chicago.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I did something from All My Sons by Arthur Miller, and then some other. That was the dramatic, and then there was a comedic monologue.
You hadn't done any auditions up until this point, probably.
Well, I mean, I auditioned for plays in school.
Oh, they did have auditions in school? Okay.
Yeah.
But still, that's got to be kind of nerve-wracking, right?
It really wasn't, because I didn't.
You didn't know.
You don't know any better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the last time I auditioned was to do Anything Goes at high school.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like there was no nervousness to it. It was like, well, this is what you do,
Yeah.
So then I went there for a year. Then I moved back to Chicago, and then that's when I worked for MCA Records.
Why'd you leave so quickly?
Homesick, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, you know what?
It's a big shift.
This is.
It's a huge culture shock.
But I thought I was just going to come. I thought I was just going to Chicago for like 3 months, and then I'll be back. Like, I left my furniture here, I left everything here, and then never came back for.
But wait,
years.
so you thought you were going to go back for 3 months just to
hang out with my family and see my friends for the summer,
Oh,
and
funny.
then come back to L.A.
and it was comfortable, and you ended up staying.
And I just stayed in. Well, I ended up getting this job at MCA, and so then I worked for the record label, and it still wasn't fulfilling.
Right.
And
you're still not doing comedy or anything at this point.
I started right around here.
Okay.
I started at MCA. I kind of started. I didn't kind of start. I started doing open mics.
Nice.
And
what was the first one? What was the shift that
my
made you
first
want to
one
do the
was
first
right
one?
after I turned 21, and it went okay.
But why'd you do it? You were just like,
Okay, it's in your.
you want to be in
bones.
front of people again.
I want to be I wanted to be a stand-up.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be funny. I liked being funny. I was funny at work. I was funny. I was that dummy that everybody told you, "Hey, you're the funniest guy in the world. You should be a comedian." And a lot of people believe them, and they suck. And then luckily, I didn't. And,
Right.
But then I stopped for a while and still worked at MCA and did community theater.
Oh,
And,
nice. That's great.
And then eventually at MCA, I was doing open mics. I was really paying more attention to open micing and getting gigs than I was for my job.
Right.
And my boss basically told me, you have to make a decision. And I chose comedy and
Wait,
left
why
MCA.
couldn't you do both? Isn't MCA a day job?
Yeah, but I wasn't doing my job.
Oh,
I was on the phone networking. I was
Nice.
staying up all night doing, going
Gotcha.
to gigs and
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
open mics, and I just wasn't, and I was kind of neglecting my job. I wasn't good at it. I wasn't doing
Right.
my job. And he was like, you got to make a decision.
Right.
And I told him what I was going to do, and the whole office had seen me do stand-up maybe like a month prior to this, and I bombed miserably.
Oh, no.
And so when I said to him the next day, I said, well, give me a day, which I think surprised him. Like, you're going to even think about this? You're working for MCA Records, making a ton of money.
Right.
Why are at the height of the record industry? Why would you even think about leaving? And then I came in the next day and I said, I thought about it overnight and I talked with my family and I'm gonna leave. And he just like, what? Okay, okay. And then we went into the morning meeting and he told everybody there. So Jim has some news. He's given his 2-week notice. He's going to pursue comedy. And literally, like the entire room, was like, great. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Because they just saw me suck.
Right.
And they had to think I was crazy. But I had to do it. Like, I left this great paying job to go make $150 a week doing stand-up and sometimes $50. And,
But at least you're getting paid. That's great.
Yeah, I got paid way too soon. I really did.